welcome into Anita on the Rail, getting you ready for all the action up there in Saratoga Racetrack, heading into this Saturday's races, and we have some good ones we're going to get you ready for. Sword Dancer, and we've got, 9 horses in this field, 7 of them stakes winners. It's going to be a good one. And of course, Saratoga Oaks Invitational as well. We'll get you some winners for that race. And we'll talk about some of the New York bred races that are going to be happening in Saratoga on Saturday. Ryan Anderson from America's Best Racing is going to be joining me momentarily. We want to give a big shout out to ABR, America's Best Racing. If you want to know anything about horse racing, that's where you need to go. Some of the best information online, ABR, America's Best Racing, to get you ready for, of course, all the action and all the excitement. It's almost the season up there in Saratoga is almost over, which is pretty insane. I was up there last week for the Whitney. It was unbelievable. It was a great time. I want to give a big shout out to Naira Betts, who really rolled out the red carpet for a number of us. It was a great day, a beautiful afternoon. If you're planning on going up to Saratoga, I'll tell you what, it's really special, and it's a really, really good time to go up there and, of course, take in all the horse racing. And on top of that, check out a few of our sponsors. One in particular, we've got Kindred, a stellar wine list, outstanding handcrafted cocktails, wood-fired kitchen. You can enjoy the chef deliver incredible homemade meals, of course, friendly service, outdoor patio. It is a staple. It's where you want to go if you're up in Saratoga and you're visiting. And also the Henry Street Tap Room. They're right next to each other, right there on Henry Street, 84 and 86 Henry Street, the best beer list in town. Great comfort food, another location with excellent staff, and it's been a staple since 2012. Outdoor patio, great cheese, as well as beers and dollar oysters every Tuesday. So when you're up in Saratoga, you want to go to Kindred as well as Henry Street Tap Room. And also big shout out to New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., the official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. Want to remind you, August 10th, that is a Sunday at 7 o'clock, New York bred yearling sale is happening. And then the following day, on Monday, August 11th, at noon, 12 o'clock, right across the street from the track, right across is the sales grounds, and there'll be more sales there. So if interested in owning and investing in some New York bred horses, mark your calendar, August 10th and August 11th, and check out nytbreeders.org/membership to find out more information and how you can do that. Without further ado, let's bring in Ryan Anderson from America's Best Racing, ABR, to break it all down with us. Joining us as always, Ryan Anderson. You can see him all over ABR, America's Best Racing, to break down the big races coming your way at Saratoga Racetrack this Saturday. And the biggest, Ryan, right, is Sword Dancer. Post time is at 5:44 p.m. Win, and you're in qualifier for the Breeders' Cup Turf at Del Mar on November 1st. I'm sure you will be there because you're there pretty much every day. This field, you've got 9 horses. 7 of them are stakes winners. 3 horses are sired by English Channel, which I think is interesting. And this is a turf race. So with that being said, let's break a few of the good horses down. And let's start with and I know I'm going to butcher this name, Cordobez. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, right? Pratt's going to be riding him. First trip to America, won a Group 2 in Newmarket back in July. What can you tell us about the one horse?
Yeah, this is one of the few times this summer. Obviously, first, Anita, nice to be back with you. But yeah, the Grade 1 Sword Dancer, when you're in for the Breeders' Cup Turf this fall at Del Mar. We've often seen the Godolphin Blue and Charlie Appleby send quite a few runners our way come Breeders' Cup time. This is one that I really have my eye on. That was a really nice eye-popping Group 2 win in the Prince of Wales Stakes at Newmarket last time out. Winning a turf race by 2 lengths against that quality of company that he kept. That's eye-popping for sure, and for them to bring El Cordobez over here shows me that this is one of those runners Charlie Appleby has his eye on sending to Del Mar in the fall. Hopefully going to get a win here. I like that Flavian Pratt is going to be aboard. That is a combination that we've seen quite a few times with Charlie Appleby sending his string over. If he doesn't send William Buick, he uses the local guy, Flavian Pratt, who is obviously very capable of winning. I'm going to take this one to pose a slight upset over your favorites, the number 6 Farbridge, who's posted up at 9-5 on your morning.
So you're really digging the one horse. Let's talk about the 2, and that's Rebel Red. Irad Ortiz, of course, will be riding Rebel Red. Began his career in Great Britain at Newmarket, but broke his maiden at Churchill Downs back in June of 2024. This very well could be a very lively long shot. What can you tell us about the 2?
Yeah, this entire field, I know we're going to go through it, this entire field, top to bottom, is extremely competitive. But the number 2 Rebel Red certainly deserves his props in here. He has a win over the Saratoga course going back to last summer. That was versus Allowance Company, but as Cherie has stretched this horse out over the mile and a half and marathon configurations, Rebel Red has really succeeded. This one, much like the number 1 El Cordobez, is by Frankel, who's a very prolific sire overseas. He stands for a measly $430-something thousand just to get one of those horses. I mean, that is spectacular numbers, to say the least. But he has produced time and again. So Rebel Red certainly deserves a shot, and this 1.5 miles is well within his scope.
Let's jump down to the 5 horse, Nation's Pride, now 6 years old, and the leading money winner in this field. What can you tell us about the 5?
Yeah, William Buick comes over for the second of 2 Charlie Appleby entries here in this race. He's going to be riding Nation's Pride. He's the regular rider over here. I don't know. This is one of those Charlie Appleby horses that's very good. I just tend to lean the other direction. He's come over here quite a handful of times to run in some graded stakes company, whether it was the Canada International that he did win. He's running 3 other grade 1s here. He's won one of them. He's finished second in one, and he finished 9th in the Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational. So he's a bit of an inconsistent sort. He is very talented. He's a winner of over $3 million in his career. So certainly one to be respected, but one I'm going to try and beat in this spot just because I feel like he's going to take a little bit more money than should be deserved. And I think he is beatable in a spot like this.
All right, let's take a look at the 6 horse Fairbridge. Rosario will be riding this horse. Now, this is one of the 3, as we mentioned, that English Channel has sired, and took the Pan American G3 at Gulfstream Park. Many people feel that this horse number 6, is the one to beat. Do you agree?
Certainly the one to beat, just because he's had that form. He runs this 1.5 mile distance extremely well. 3 wins at 4 tries going this 1.5 mile distance. So yes, he certainly is the horse to beat. But a lot of these wins have come when he hasn't faced these European invaders. And when he has, sometimes he kind of runs into that trouble. He's lost races like this to Nation's Pride, who we just talked about, to a horse like Measured Time, who is also trained by Charlie Appleby and owned by Godolphin. Rebel's Romance is another one that comes to mind. That was in the Breeders' Cup, so obviously I'm more lenient to forgive that, as that is the world's best competition. But when he faces those U.S.-only horses, he tends to beat up on them more often than not. But when those Euro invaders come in, it maybe makes him a little bit vulnerable. I will say, as he's gotten older, he has shown even more versatility and ability to come from off the pace, as well as lead them all the way around. So he's certainly a tactical type that can kind of sit any trip, but I am going to be looking to beat the favorite in this spot.
All right, the 7, El Razine, another horse that English Channel has sired, and a Todd Pletcher horse, as well as the 8 horse Grand Sonata, who again isn't an English Channel horse, however, is working with Todd Pletcher as well. What can you tell us about the 7 and the 8?
Yeah, the 2 Todd Pletcher entries, both of whom are, well respected. I just think they maybe want to knock their heads around grade 2, grade 3 company. This might be a little too deep in terms of the waters for them. El Razine was pretty nice last time out, finishing second in the Bowling Green behind Farbridge. Although that was a 4-horse field and it was kind of a jockey's race, El Razine was clearly the second best horse in there going this distance. So that was a very formful result. I could see this horse maybe rounding out those superfectas if you use him way down underneath. But I feel like there's a few that are a little too good in this field for El Razine to really be considered a top win candidate. And Grand Sonata, another one that I think kind of just belongs in that grade 2, grade 3 company. He's trained forwardly out of that last race. Irad Ortiz was aboard the last time. Manny Franco booked to board, and this one is cross-entered at Colonial Downs. I'm not sure where he's going to show up, but I would think that he'd be more competitive down at Colonial during their Arlington Million racing weekend.
And last but not least, the 9-horse Utah Beach, the last and final of the 3 by English Channel. Jose Ortiz will be its jockey, who's having an excellent Saratoga season so far. How big of a threat is the 9-horse in this race, Ryan?
I would say a relatively big one. This one I could see springing an upset if things were to really go his way. You mentioned Jose Ortiz has been a very hot rider so far for Saratoga. He's really pushing his brother Irad at the top of those jockey standings. Irad still has the edge for now, but don't sleep on Jose Ortiz. They're going to team up here with Nacho Correas. The main goal for Jose Ortiz and Utah Beach has to be to get to the rail immediately. This is a race that's going around 3 turns, and we all know how important it is to save ground in these turf races. So if Utah Beach can do that, that's going to give him a shot. He has 4 wins out of 7 tries, as well as a 3rd place finish going this 1.5-mile distance. So he's not without a chance. He's run some really competitive speed figures. I wonder if this is, again, maybe just a little bit too deep for him. But this is the one kind of of the more long shots that I would consider using in 2nd and 3rd place, 2nd and 3rd in my exotics. All
right, as always. Take us to the window. So again, tell us exactly how you're going to be playing this race.
Yep. I'm going to play a straight exacta in this race. I'm going to use the 1, El Cordobez, on top, and I'm going to use the number 6, Farbridge, in second. It'll be a straight 1-6 for me. Again, I believe Farbridge is far and away the horse to beat. I don't really see him finishing worse than 2nd or 3rd unless, he were to have all types of traffic trouble or, something like that. So I think El Cordobez can spring a mild upset here in the grade 1 Sword Dancer with Flavian Pratt aboard. And then Farbridge, I think, rounds out that exacta in second. Going to try and beat the number 5 Nation's Pride, who I believe is just a little too inconsistent for my liking.
All right, let's talk about it's not race number 2, but the second race we're going to talk about on the show. And that is the Saratoga Oaks Invitational. This will be run on turf as well. A demanding distance for 3-year-old fillies. It is a grade 2 event. The purse is $500,000. From everything that I'm reading about this, the pace will be really crucial in determining who wins this. So with that being said, who are some of the horses that you fancy in this race, Ryan?
Yeah, I really look towards just 2 of them. It's going to be the number 1 Opulent Restraint for Chad Brown. Flavian Pratt once again. I think he's going to sweep these graded stakes on Saturday, both coming over the turf course. You mentioned 1 mile and 3/16 is a very demanding distance. She went 1 mile and 1/8 last time out in the Belmont Oaks Invitational, losing to Fion and Nitrogen. Nitrogen, obviously one of the top 3-year-old fillies in this class, who we're going to get to see in a couple weeks in the grade 1 Alabama on dirt. So that's going to obviously make for a very nice showdown. Fion got the better of Nitrogen and Opulent Restraint that day. She's also a very talented 3-year-old filly. But it should be noted that there's a significant jockey change going from Joel Rosario to Flavian Pratt in this situation. Flavian, I think, can kind of just ration that speed a little better. You can see last time out, if you look at the fractions and you look at Timeform US figures, they're coded red, meaning it was a fast pace. They went 46 to the half. They went 110 for 3/4. They got ran down by better horses. This is the lone speed horse in this race, and I believe Flavian Pratt is going to use that speed advantage from the rail, going to get out to a nice early lead, and hopefully just be able to ration that speed along, go a little bit slower, and save enough to go down the stretch. This filly is by Dubawi, who is also another European stallion, standing for another very moderate, budget-friendly $445,000. So, no, they obviously have very high hopes for this horse, and I think that she is coming along very nicely. And then the other horse I look to is the number 3, Go-Go Boots, owned by Bobby Flay, who we know obviously is a celebrity chef, trained by Miguel Clement, and ridden in this spot by Jose Ortiz. Comes over after previously being trained by John and Thaddy Gosden overseas in Europe. Ran some really respectable races. Ran a disappointing 9th in the Epsom Oaks, but that was behind Mini Hawk and Whirl and some other really talented horses in that 3-year-old filly division. And I think that she is just going to appreciate this fast and firm turf course that you're going to get out at Saratoga. You can see her 2 wins were really impressive over the synthetic courses at Lingfield earlier to start her career, and I believe that's going to transfer pretty well into the firm going that we should get at Saratoga this weekend. Those subsequent 3 efforts on turf came over less than firm ground, and typically when we see these Euros brought over and they have these trainer switches, typically that's indicative of a horse that might just like the firmer going a little bit better. So she's kept great company overseas. She's run longer distances than what they're going to go today. So this cutback might even be more to her benefit than anything. She's going to have that stamina, that foundation from those previous races. But I really look forward to seeing Opulent Restraint and Go-Go Boots likely throw it down as they turn for home coming down the stretch. So my other play in this one is going to be a straight 1-3 exacta in the Saratoga Oaks Invitational.
You're loving these straight exactas heading into Saturday. I love it. So the 1 and the 3. As you know, New York Thoroughbred Breeders are a huge sponsor of the show, so we always like to give a lot of attention to the New York bred horses. There is a race happening, race 3, New York bred maiden race, we want to turn our attention to. Any horses in that race that you have your eye on that you're going to wager on?
Yeah, in race number 3, it's going to be maiden special weight going 5.5. I have my eye on the number 6 Miami Style. Trained by Joseph Orsino, this Monmouth shipper comes in, attracts the likes of Irad Ortiz, was bumped last time out in her second start. And again, these 2-year-olds, when they encounter a little bit of trouble, sometimes they're just not mature enough to know how to overcome it. She's kind of dealt with that trouble. I anticipate Irad Ortiz having her in a much better position this time around, probably going to avoid that trouble. And Irad can really just get a horse to finish underneath him. Nothing against the jockey that was on in Iorio at Monmouth Park, but Irad is the top jockey right now in the country. So him hopping aboard, you get 6-1 on the morning line. I'd be surprised if we got that, maybe in the 4-1, 5-1 range. But either way, this is a New York bred I've had my eye on since she last ran at Monmouth, encountering some trouble. I anticipate her to show a much improved effort in her now 3rd career start, and is bred to enjoy this turf sprint distance. So this is one I want to give a close look to. So I'll put a win bet on the number 6 Miami Style.
I like it. I'm originally from Miami, so I'm going to put a ticket in on that. Last but not least, another New York bred race, and it is the final race of the day on Saturday. It is race number 12. So share with us if somebody's playing a pick 5, a pick 6, how do they want to bring it home to get that win? Who do you like in race 12?
Yeah, this is one of those kind of rare instances where I have a very strong opinion in the last race of the day. So I am going to anchor a lot of my pick 5s and my pick 6 tickets in this horse. It's going to be the number 7, Feet Like Coyote, trained by Juan Avila, ridden by Ricardo Santana, who we spoke about Jose Ortiz having a really nice meet. Irad obviously leading the way. Ricardo Santana is kind of having that breakout summer meet, similar to Dylan Davis last year, where he was winning on prices. He had his horses in the right position, time in and time out, regardless of surface and distance. That's Ricardo Santana this year. He has been riding phenomenal. He's riding with a ton of confidence, and you can see it every time he breaks out of the gate. He has his horses in a position to win time in and time out. On top of that, this horse has posted some really consistent figures, a lot of those coming against open company. This race against New York only restricted company. His last time against state bred company was an allowance race back on May 18th at Belmont at Aqueduct. He finished second by 5 lengths, but that horse that he finished second to, that horse is named Rhetorical. Rhetorical came back to romp up at Saratoga, I believe, during the Belmont meet that they had up here. And his next start is going to be in the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile, trained by William Walden, ridden by Irad Ortiz. That is a very, very special New York bred turf router. That's Rhetorical. Feet Like Coyote has held his own against open company and against state bred. I think he gets that tiny bit of class relief in a field like this. So I'm gonna anchor all my tickets in the number 7 Feet Like Coyote, Juan Avila, Ricardo Santana, 3-1 on the morning line.
Like it. So again, race 3, Ryan likes number 6 Miami Style, and then in race 7 he likes race number 12 he likes horse number 7. Reminder, August 10th, that's a Sunday, 7 o'clock start. New York bred yearling sales are happening. And also the following day, Monday, August 11th, it's a 12 p.m. start for sales on the sales ground right across from the racetrack. So any interest, of course, in owning some New York bred horses, August 10th and August 11th, head to nytbreeders.org/membership for more information. Ryan, thank you so much. Great insight. Hopefully we're feeding our listeners and our viewers some winners. Appreciate you, my friend. Good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, good luck to everybody. Hope I picked four straight winning bets here. So we'll see. And thanks as always for having me, Anita.
Well, so do I, because I'm going to be playing them. I'll see you next week.
NYTB membership is your inside track to the ultimate New York thoroughbred racing experience. Free race day entrance to Belmont, Saratoga, Aqueduct, and Finger Lakes. A liaison with NYS Breeding and Development Fund. A voice in Albany working with legislators to help support the New York breeding and racing industries. Along with tons of member benefits, discounts on services and publications, educational programs, and so much more. Join today at nytbreeders.org/membership.
All right, I want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, our advertisers for Anita on the Rail. One is Kindred, great flatbread night at Kindred on Wednesdays. Unique flatbread they offer with a discount, stellar wine list, outstanding handcrafted cocktails. Their food is amazing. The chef creates every dish from scratch. I'm telling you, this is one of the best places to visit when you're up in Saratoga. New York style ambiance, outside patio, terrific staff, and then right next door, Henry Street Tap Room, best beer list in Saratoga. High-end comfort food, terrific staff. This has been a Saratoga staple since 2012. They as well have an outdoor patio. The weather up in Saratoga has been just magnificent and is expected to be throughout the month of August. They've got a great cheese list, nothing like a little malt and mold together, and dollar oysters every Tuesday. So check out Kindred as well as Henry Street Tap Room and New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., the official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. No better time to breed in New York. With the current strength of New York bred programs, including equal purses for New York breds and open company horses on the NYRA circuit, starting with the New York bred 2-year-olds in 2026. For more information, including exclusive membership benefits and discounts for being an NYTB member, please visit nytbreeders.org/memberships. Also, they've got a lot of really great events coming your way. The New York Bred pre-sales barbecue on Thursday, August 7th, and the sale August 10th through 11th, and also the track VIP experience day on Friday, August 8th. For all this and more information in regard to the events that they have coming your way, go to nytbreeders.org/events. All right, I want to thank Ryan for joining us. Again, we've got you locked and loaded for Sword Dancer. Post time, don't forget, is at 5:54. Also, Saratoga Oaks Invitational, as well as some New York bred races coming your way. And want to remind you, we're back each and every week for the Saratoga racing season. Next week, we'll be breaking down and previewing Alabama. Really excited. We're going to be up in Saratoga recording this show on Thursday, August 21st, getting you ready for Travers Day. That is going to be a big day coming your way on August 23rd. And then, of course, ending the season, rounding it out with Spinaway. So we have 3 more shows coming your way with some of the best in the business with Ryan Anderson, Mark DiLorenzo, Matt Breer, breaking it down and hopefully delivering you some winners to head into the track on Saturday. Again, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Kindred, a phenomenal restaurant up there in Saratoga, great wine list, outstanding crafted cocktails, and amazing food, a New York style kind of vibe, outdoor patio. The weather in Saratoga has just been delicious. and so is their food. So head out there, and then right next door is Henry Street Tap Room, the best beer in Saratoga. And as well, the New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., the official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. Check them out at nytbreeders.org, and to become a member, /membership. So again, thank you so much for watching, tuning in, subscribing, commenting. Who do you like heading into this Saturday's races? Please put them up on our message boards. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week. Good luck at the track.